What if the search for happiness is the one thing preventing you from finding it? It's a strange question, isn't it? Feels like a riddle. All our lives we're taught to pursue joy, to set goals, to chase our dreams, to build a life that feels good. We make vision boards, we write affirmations, we hustle. We treat happiness like a destination we must struggle to reach. But have you ever had that feeling, late at night when the house is quiet, a subtle exhaustion not just in your body but in your soul? A weariness from all the trying to be positive, the trying to be calm, the trying to be better. And in that quiet moment, a whisper of a thought arises. What if this isn't working? What if the constant effort to grasp onto pleasure and push away pain is the very source of my anxiety? What if the secret to feeling whole is to stop trying to fix yourself? Stay with me here. Because this isn't about giving up. It's about discovering a different kind of strength, a different kind of wisdom. I recently immersed myself in an audiobook experience that gave a name to this feeling. It's a collection of ideas centered on a concept called the backwards law. While not a single book with that title, it's a philosophy woven through the life's work of Alan Watts, a brilliant thinker who brought Eastern wisdom, like Zen, Taoism, and Vedanta, into a language the Western mind could understand. The backwards law is the central artery of his book, The Wisdom of Insecurity. It addresses the fundamental anxiety of modern life, our desperate need for certainty in a universe that is, by its very nature, uncertain. This isn't just an old idea from the 1950s. It speaks directly to our current moment, to the burnout from hustle culture, to the epidemic of anxiety fueled by social media's highlight reels, to the quiet identity crisis we face when we feel we're not living up to the person we're supposed to be. The audiobook wasn't just a listen, it was an unlearning. So, let's walk through the heart of this idea together. Let it wash over you. Don't try to memorize it. Just feel it. First, the law itself. Watts puts it this way: the desire for a positive experience is in itself a negative experience. The acceptance of a negative experience is in itself a positive experience. Think about that. When you desperately need to feel happy at a party, what are you actually feeling? You're feeling the lack of happiness. You're acutely aware of its absence. Your neediness creates a shadow of anxiety. The more you scan the room thinking, "Am I having fun yet?" the more you disconnect from the present moment where genuine fun might actually happen. Conversely, imagine you're feeling anxious. The typical response is to fight it. Go away, anxiety. I need to be calm. But what if you just accepted it? Not liked it, but accepted its presence. Ah, hello, anxiety. I feel you in my chest. Suddenly, the second layer of suffering, the suffering about your suffering, dissolves. You stop fighting a war with your own mind. In that acceptance, there is a strange, quiet peace. You're no longer resisting reality. And that, paradoxically, is a positive experience. The second insight is about our obsession with security. Watts wrote, "Security is a superstition. It does not exist in nature. Life is a process of becoming, a combination of states we have to go through. Where people fail is that they want to elect a state and remain in it. This is a kind of death. We want the stable job, the predictable relationship, the guaranteed future. We try to nail everything down. But trying to possess a flowing river is impossible. The more we try to create rigid walls of security, the more fragile we become. Because life will change. It is its nature. Think of a sailor. A sailor who demands a perpetually calm sea will be terrified of every cloud, every ripple. But a sailor who learns to navigate waves, to work with the wind and the water, they are the ones who are truly secure. Their security isn't in the absence of chaos, it's in their ability to dance with it. The insight here is that true safety comes from embracing vulnerability, not from eliminating it. This leads to the third powerful idea. Letting go isn't giving up, it's waking up. We hear "let go" all the time, and it often sounds passive, like admitting defeat. But in this philosophy, it's an act of profound intelligence. Imagine you're clenching your fist as tightly as you can. Your knuckles are white, your arm is shaking. You're holding on to a worry, a resentment, a rigid plan for your life. Someone tells you to let go. It's not about the defeat of unclenching. It's about realizing the pain is coming from the clenching itself. Letting go is simply unclenching. It's returning your hand to its natural state of rest and openness. It doesn't mean the thing you were worried about has vanished. It means you've stopped torturing yourself in response to it. You've withdrawn your energy from the struggle. And in that release you regain your power. You are no longer a prisoner of your own resistance. And finally, the fourth insight, which is so gentle and so deep: you can't force peace. You soften into it. This is perhaps my favorite realization. We often treat relaxation like a task. Okay, now I will meditate. I will be mindful. I will find inner peace. We bring that same aggressive, goal-oriented energy to our own healing. And it backfires, creating what some call striver's disease. The audiobook reminded me that peace is not something you achieve or conquer. It's our default state. It's the silence that's already there, underneath all the mental noise. Think of a tense muscle in your shoulder. You can't force it to relax by hitting it. You can only bring your awareness to it, breathe into it, and invite it to soften. You create the conditions for release and then you allow it to happen. It's a surrender. The same is true for your mind. You don't find peace by fighting your thoughts. You find it by creating a space for them to arise and pass without struggle. You soften your attention, you soften your breath, you soften your resistance to what is. This idea of softening landed deep in my bones because I lived the opposite for so long. A few years ago, I was completely fixated on building a successful creative career. That word, successful, was a ghost I was chasing. It meant external validation, a certain number of followers, a specific kind of recognition. I worked relentlessly. I stayed up late, fueled by caffeine and anxiety, trying to force creativity, trying to engineer growth. My body was a knot of tension. I'd finish a project not with joy, but with a hollow feeling, immediately looking for the next thing to prove my worth. I was trying to will myself into a state of feeling accomplished and secure. And it was making me miserable. My creativity felt brittle. My life felt like a checklist. The turning point wasn't a grand explosion. It was a quiet, rainy Tuesday afternoon. I was staring at a blank screen, my chest tight with pressure, and I just stopped. I didn't have the energy to fight anymore. I pushed my chair back, walked over to the window, and just watched the rain. And in that moment of surrender, a thought arose, clear as a bell. What if I don't have to do any of this? It wasn't about quitting my career. It was about letting go of the death grip I had on a specific outcome. Letting go of the belief that my worth was tied to it. I breathed out, and it felt like I was exhaling years of tension. That afternoon, I did nothing productive. I just sat, and for the first time in a long time, I felt peace. I had softened. And of course, paradoxically, my work became more joyful and authentic after that. I had stopped chasing, and something real finally had the space to emerge. But the journey through this philosophy doesn't just end with practical tips for feeling less anxious. It leads to a profound spiritual shift. And this is the twist that changes everything. The ultimate reason we struggle so hard is because, on some deep level, we believe we are fundamentally flawed. We believe we are broken, separate, and in need of fixing. We see ourselves as a faulty I, a lonely ego trapped inside a body that must navigate a hostile external world. The backwards law, in its deepest sense, invites you to question this assumption entirely. Peace doesn't come from fixing yourself. It comes from remembering you were never broken. You aren't a separate ego inside the universe. You are an expression of the universe. You are not a flaw in the system. You are a feature of it. The same intelligence that spins the galaxies and grows the trees is the intelligence that beats your heart and breathes your lungs. Your anxieties, your joys, your sorrows, they are not mistakes. They are part of the texture of a living, breathing cosmos. When you truly feel this, the whole game of self-improvement collapses. It's replaced by self-acceptance. The need to control life is replaced by the wisdom of trusting it. The final, beautiful mantra isn't, I need to be better. It is simply, I am already a part of this. So how do we bring this cosmic idea into our messy, everyday lives? It's not about a sudden, dramatic transformation. It's about small, gentle shifts in awareness. Here are a few invitations. 1. The next time you feel a difficult emotion, anxiety, boredom, frustration, try this. Don't fix it. Don't distract yourself. Just notice it. Label it gently in your mind. Ah, this is anxiety. Feel where it lives in your body. Just for 30 seconds. You're not approving of it, you're just acknowledging it's there. This is the practice of acceptance. 2. Let go of one thing you think you should be doing this week. Maybe it's forcing yourself to go to a social event you're dreading, or pushing through an extra hour of work when you're exhausted. Choose to consciously let it go. And in the space you create, just breathe. Do nothing. Notice how that feels. 3. Do one thing this week purely for the sensation of it, with zero goal of improvement. Savor a cup of tea without your phone. Listen to a piece of music without doing anything else. Walk outside and just feel the air on your skin. Reconnect with the simple, non-transactional joy of being alive. The backwards law is an invitation to get out of your own way. To stop fighting a war against your own life. It suggests that the peace, wholeness, and joy we are so desperately striving for isn't out there, in some future achievement. It's right here. It's been here all along, waiting patiently underneath the noise of our striving. It's the quiet hum beneath the traffic, the stillness in the center of the storm. So I'll leave you with the question that this journey left with me. What are you still chasing with a clenched fist? And what might happen if you just softened your grip? If this video stirred something in you, it's likely because a part of you is ready to stop running. Subscribe if you'd like to explore more ideas like this together. But more importantly, when this video ends, take a moment. Pause. Take one slow breath. You're already here. You're already enough.